Welcome to the October edition of Pulse of the Parish. There's lots happening at the parish of Caddo, but don't worry, there's no tricks, all treats. Join us deep in nature for a conversation with the parish's newest Poet Laureate to learn more about this important role and what it means for Caddo Parish. We're also checking in with the troops on the parish's war on litter and more ways that we are continuing to fight litter in our parish. Let's go. Well, in case you have not heard the news, Caddo Parish has a new Poet Laureate, and we are excited to sit down with her today to find out a little bit more about her poetry, her art, and her. So we're excited to have you today, Crystalyn, Miss Crystalyn Whitaker-Nelson.
I'm glad to be here, Crystal.
Thank you for joining us in this very natural space here at Earl G. Williamson Park. We thought it would be a perfect just backdrop to learn more about you and to learn more about your art and what inspires you. So I think the number one question that we want to share with the citizens of Caddo Parish, who is Crystalyn Whitaker-Nelson? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
That's a big question. So who I am is a Shreveport native and an artist, an educator, and historian, and scholar, and devoting my time to being in spaces like this and researching and reading in spaces like this. Really just, that's what inspires me to do what I do. I feel like we are nothing but, we have no choice but to be a result of those who preceded us. So for us to neglect to be a part of the nature that predates us, or to neglect learning about the history that predates, just everything that has made us who we are is what inspires me.
Excellent. You talked a little bit about your inspiration, but it's clear that you are a poet of many different facets and talents. But what truly connects you to spoken word? What encourages you or inspires you to use that as your medium?
So I will say, for sure, I'm a PK. So being in church my entire life and hearing
a PK, let's explain that.
Preacher's kid.
Preacher's kid, okay.
Yes. So just being in church my whole life and hearing the spoken word in the church setting, the power of a pastor's voice, the pace at which they speak, using, a lot of preachers use literary devices in their sermons, even if they don't realize it. There's a call and response aspect. So I learned poetic techniques from church, for sure. And then going to school, and I got my bachelor's degree in English education from Northwestern, and I got my master's in literacy instruction, curriculum and instruction from LSUS. So being in spaces where I recognize the power of the voice, and just being an American, having free speech and hearing the passion that people use to convey their ideas and convictions, is just the power of the voice. Your voice is one of the few things you have.
Absolutely.
That nobody can take from you. And it's so important. I was writing for years and performing for years before I ever thought about publishing anything in black and white, just because I like to exist with my work. And the passion and I want you to look at my eye. I want to see you when I'm telling you this. But that's really what it resonated, just the part of community that comes with it, that we're here in this space, we're sharing our feelings with each other, we're hearing each other, we're present, we're seeing each other. There's just such a power of being in community and saying things that matter to you.
So you talk about community, and we know that you're a Caddo Parish native, but specifically as it relates to the Poet Laureate, what was that connection that you felt to want to represent Caddo Parish on not only just a parish level, but, you know, a statewide and national level as well?
So I've never lived anywhere else outside of Natchitoches for the 4 years I was an undergrad. There is no place that I know better than Caddo Parish. There is no place that is more integral to my being than Caddo Parish. And I have worked in so many different areas. I've traveled all over the parish and been parts of communities in different parts. But I know that Caddo Parish has some incredibly intense history and stories. And to be able to convey this parish that is diverse in its layout. We have rural areas, we have urban areas, we have suburbs. So this is a huge story, a huge gumbo pot of people and cultures. So we should convey that in an artistic way and not just research, but just so people can see, wow, I have something to say too.
So as you progress in this appointment as Poet Laureate, what are some of the things that you hope to do to be able to engage all the citizens of Caddo Parish, whether it's children, whether it's our, citizens in the rural community, our citizens in the, our cities and urban areas? What do you hope to accomplish as Poet Laureate?
What I hope to accomplish is bringing us together in our beauty, in our art, in our natural state, who we are. If we strip away the vanity and the capitalism and all of these things that often build up the time, we take so much time up on things that are not really our nature. So just to give us space to, like this, to be outside, to take stock in where we are, and also connecting the different parts of the parish. I think that, and I've always lived in Shreveport, but Shreveport a lot of the time gets all of the press because it's the city part of the parish. However, there's so much, this is Oil City, and we're looking at such gorgeous landscape. And if we drive a little further, we're in Vivian, we have the train museum. Like, there's so many things, but we often don't take advantage of them because we don't think about going to the other parts of the parish. But this is our home.
Absolutely. So we can't tell you how excited we are to begin this journey with you as Caddo Parish Poet Laureate, and we're excited to offer opportunities throughout the year for folks to engage and hear your spoken word. And we're actually going to give folks a little sneak peek today. But in the meantime, we have information about our Poet Laureate on our website at caddo.gov. But where can folks go to learn a little bit more about you and your poetry in the meantime?
So the Shreveport Regional Arts Council has a website called, work with a website called Culturalist. That website is actually a hub for all of the local artists, and honestly the whole state has become has used that platform, and there are other parts of the United States that are using the platform as well. But I'm there. My visual and literary works are on my page, and my page is Lady Manira, LadyMunira. That's my stage name. So culturalist.com/Lady Manira is definitely a great place to look for me and to find other artists, and we can connect there. But you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and there you can keep up with the events and things that are going on and just get to know me as a person too, and see my family and things like that.
Well, Crystalyn, I want to thank you again. Again, we can't tell you how excited we are to begin this journey with you as the Caddo Parish Poet Laureate, and we look forward to hearing from you throughout the year. As you said before, poetry really is a universal language, and we've been hearing the birds and nature chiming in during our interview as well. But we look forward now to hearing a little bit of spoken word, so everybody stay tuned.
Have you ever thought about how much you grow, how much you learn, how many things you now know? Have you ever thought about how much you transform? How foreign ideas can one day become your new norm? Have you ever taken the time to think about where you are right now? In this space, in this moment that has never been and never will be again, right now. In this time, do you think about what it means to be a friend? What it means to have one? What it means to come to an end? What it means to look at what you have done? Have you considered just how important you are in this world? No matter what title or what affixes, any salutations, there is no replacement for you. Have you ever considered just how special it is to live in this place? In this place. This beauty, this nature, it reminds me that we are a part of this. This is not just ancillary decoration. This is the beginning of us all. Have you ever considered how amazing it is to see the seasons change from spring to summer to fall? Have you ever thought about how wonderful it is to see a caterpillar that was so tiny we almost stepped on it, and in a few weeks' time, flying higher than any of us can reach? That metamorphosis starts in all of us, in each of us. Change isn't always a bad thing. It's really the essence of time moving. We have no choice but to go with time. In days, we flip our calendars and months, and they go by and we don't even realize. Have you ever considered maybe sometimes you can pick your foot up off the gas? Maybe sometimes you don't have to go so fast. Maybe sometimes we just need to relax. And thankfully, we've got plenty of space to do that.
We're in the Timberline subdivision in West Caddo Parish, and we are going to have our 21st annual fall cleanup for the neighborhood. We also invited Colonial Heights, Deer Creek, Greenwood Acres, and other unincorporated areas to participate also. The parish bring out a large trash bin, and residents can bring household waste, but no tires or any hazardous chemicals to put in the bins. We're trying to make sure that we continue to instill pride in the community, and we aren't just doing this on occasions. We want this to be a philosophy. When you see this big, beautiful war on litter truck coming around in your neighborhoods and to your streets, you know that Caddo Parish is committed and it has flashing lights on it. And we want the citizens to see us out there each and every day to make sure that we are sincere when we say that Caddo Parish is declaring war on litter. You can call 318-226-6930, and if you see any kind of litter, debris, or trash along any parish road, you can report that. And this is going to be perpetual, not just a one-time thing. There is no reason for Caddo Parish to have litter. We have 17 compactor sites where any citizen located anywhere in Caddo Parish, they can bring 5 tires out to those sites. They can bring metal, old appliances, washing machines, dryers, air conditioners. They can bring wood, mattress, and old furniture. They can even bring their spent cooking oil out. This is 17 reasons as to why Caddo Parish should be litter-free. Call 318-226-6930, find out where these sites are located, or go to www.caddo.gov and click under the appropriate drop-down menu and get more information about participating with Caddo Parish in our war on litter. Let's make sure that Caddo Parish is clean, pristine, and litter-free. And that will spur economic growth, it will spur residential growth, and it'll make a better, clean, and safe parish for everyone involved.
Well, that's a wrap on the October edition of Pulse of the Parish. As always, you can join us every first Friday of the month for a look at all things new and exciting happening right here in Caddo Parish. We'll see you next time.